Hey everyone, just thought I'd do a little short video on shop safety. Beer Stud touched on it in his little video about first aid kits. And everybody should have one in the shop. I have one just like this in the car too that I keep with me because I'm on the road quite a bit. And I mean, they're just a basic house and office, home and office first aid kit. You can buy them, any drugstore, pharmacy sells them. Walmart, places like that. And they all have basically the same stuff. I won't go through everything. But one thing I did add to it was I added crazy glue. Because most of you guys probably know this, but if you get a pretty deep cut and you can't make it to the hospital right away, or even if you're on your way to the hospital, crazy glue will keep it shut and stop a lot of the bleeding. It'll hold it shut. So if you just pinch your slice open and put a couple dabs of crazy glue, it works. Also added some tweezers. You don't need expensive tweezers or anything. Any pair of tweezers will do. I got these ones from the sewing section of a department store, and they're tweezers with a magnifying glass, and they're perfect if you get splinters or slivers, you know, wood slivers, metal slivers, any of that. They're just perfect and they're good to have. But yeah, one thing I was saying is when you get your first aid kit, go through it and put the stuff that you're going to use most often on the top, like band-aids, crazy glue, tape, and the tweezers. So, you know, while you're standing there bleeding to death, you're not having to dig through this to find the band-aids and crazy glue and tape. It's just a good idea. Yeah, most of them come through. I mean, they have tensor bandages, alcohol prep pads, triangular bandages, different kind of bandages. A lot of them have basically the same stuff. Another thing is the things in them, like the alcohol swabs, prep pads and things, they dry out after a while. They expire even though they're in a sealed package, and other things expire. So most first aid kits, the packaging or somewhere on it will come with an expiry date. Mine came on the packaging, so I cut it out and stuck it to the outside of the case. So I would always know when it was expired. This one expires in 2020. So I just stuck it there with some clear Gorilla Tape, which sticks to virtually everything. I've stuck it to this cloth ruler down here on my edge of my workbench, and it's been there for, well, early this summer I think I put it there, and I've wiped over it with acetone, and this tape, I mean, it's stuck. It's really good stuff. Before, like, I had one of these for the longest time, then my wife brought it in the house, so I didn't have one. I cut myself one day and realized all I had in here were these bacon strips adhesive bandages that I bought for a joke at a mall. And the band-aids themselves actually look like strips of bacon. I won't open them. But it does in a pinch, but not the best thing to have. They're just kind of a joke. I paid $7 for these, probably about 10 years ago. So yeah, get a first aid kit. I mean, they're definitely handy. And another thing, when you're in the garage, wear nitrile or latex gloves as much as you can when you're doing things. A lot of chemicals you work with in the garage, brake cleaner, acetone, solvents, oils, they're really not good for the skin. I mean, a lot of them are carcinogenic, and I mean, they'll dry out your skin if nothing else. They're just not good. Avoid it if you can. I mean, I did 3 oil changes in a row not that long ago with gloves on, and when I was done, my hands were spotless. I could have went and ate with them. So yeah, I used to avoid wearing gloves. I didn't like it. Find a brand and type of glove that fits and is comfortable and, you know, gives you dexterity and feeling in your fingertips, and you'll wear them more often. I mean, these are good. These are Grease Monkey brand, and I love them. They're thick enough that they don't get holes right away. The Frugal Prepper had a tip too about blowing them up, you know, before you put them on, and dumping some baby powder in there. Talcum powder would work too. And that way your hands don't get all sweaty in there and such. So that's a good idea. I'll take you off the tripod here and do a little walk around for a second. If I can do this. There we go. Haven't even dropped the camera. So, okay. I'll put this back on the wall. I mean, you should keep this somewhere where you can see it, and it's easy to see if somebody else needs it. I mean, I hang mine on just a couple of little push pins by the door here. I mean, right there, right by the door and by the light switch. It's easy to see. It's red. It stands out. And it's, I mean, easy to get to. I was going to hang it up there, but you don't want to have to be reaching for something when you're bleeding to death or hurting. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing I was going to touch on, grinders. Bench grinders and angle grinders. Don't remove the guards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grinders here, and I have others. They all have the guards on them. There's nothing you can't do with a guard on a grinder. People say, oh, it's in my way, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, I call. If you get a decent grinder, they have an easily movable thing. You just push the, let me get out of here, back a bit. And just push the tab and they rotate. I mean, you can adjust them to any angle. There you go. I mean, and even if they're not, all it takes is a turn of a screw. They're there for a reason. I mean, just leave them on. Bench grinders, leave the clear guards on them. This one has a wire brush on it. Trust me, you don't want one of those in your eyes. Another reason I leave safety glasses all over the place. I leave them by the grinder because I'm more likely to use them if they're there. If I see them, I'll use them. I keep the guards on. If you get one of these wires fly off those wheels and in your eyes, it not only hurts, it can ruin your eyesight. I've had to go to the hospital to get something ground out of my eye. It wasn't fun. You don't want to do that, trust me. Over here towards the drill press, I mean, I keep, again, safety goggles up there. There's a glove up there. You don't want to wear gloves when using a drill press. That'll cause more harm than anything. If it snags on the bit or something, it'll twist your hand in there and snap your wrist. Same with this bench grinder. I've kept the guards on, the eye pieces on. Keep these on here. If they're not on there, it can suck your whatever you're grinding in. Also keep them adjusted so it's close to the wheel without touching it, so there's not room for something to get jammed in there and fling it out. Another quick tip here while we're at the bench grinder is when you turn it on, stand off to the side. Don't stand in line with the spinning wheels. Wait until they come up to speed before you get near it, because if those wheels were to fly apart, you know, these, I think this one's at, what is it, 10,000 RPM or something? I'm not sure even. Sorry, 3,450 RPM. One of those wheels comes apart and hits you in big chunks. It's going to ruin your day. I mean, an old trick that's, I'm sure some of you have heard this before or know it yourself. Take something and tap the side of the wheel. See how there's a slight ringing tone to it? That means your grinding wheel is solid. I mean, that's not a fail-safe way, but usually if there's a crack or fracture in there you can't see, it'll be more of a dull thud when you hit it. It just doesn't sound solid. It's hard to describe, but you'll know it. Like hit a good grinding stone, and then once if you do it, and then you do come across a bad one, you'll know it. Safety-wise, what else can I say? That's about it. I mean, just be careful. Like I said, keep a first aid kit. Wear gloves, keep eyeglasses. I keep a face shield and ear protection. You know, I keep the face shield by the grinder. I don't use as much as I should, but I try. When welding, always wear a helmet. Don't even think you can use squint goggles, you know, by squinting. Doesn't work. You're going to burn your eyes. I've done it. It's not fun. You won't do it again once you've done it. Also have a drawer of PPE, personal protection equipment, with more gloves in it, latex gloves, rubber gloves, dust masks. Use those when grinding or sanding things. More eye protection, earplugs. I mean, this stuff is all inexpensive. Goggles. I mean, all this stuff doesn't cost very much, and you only get one pair of eyes, you know, one set of hands, 10 fingers, 2 ears. I mean, take care of them. The last thing you want is to end up in the hospital. There's gloves up there, hand cleaner. Another thing I keep with the hand cleaner is just some hand lotion, because this stuff it cleans really good, but it also dries your hands right out. So, you know, you want to have nice hands. The ladies like nice hands, eh? So, yeah, that's about it. Just thought I'd do a quick video. Get yourself a first aid kit. Maybe get yourself some bacon strip band-aids. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys are all having a great day, and Be careful out there.